Breaking news for every Social Security recipient watching this video right now. A new Social Security Administration rule just took effect today, and if you're a senior, retiree, or someone who depends on Social Security benefits, this change could directly impact how you receive your money going forward. This is not a rumor. This is not speculation. This is official. The SSA has implemented a new rule as of today, and millions of Americans need to understand exactly what this means for their monthly income. If you're receiving retirement benefits, survivor benefits, or any form of Social Security payment, the next few minutes could save you from confusion, missed payments, or financial stress in the coming weeks. Stay with me. I'm going to break down everything you need to know in plain English. My name is Dave Ram, and this channel exists for one reason: to protect your Social Security benefits and keep you informed about every change, update, and rule that affects your income. I don't work for the government. I'm not trying to sell you anything. I'm here to translate confusing government language into real talk that actually helps you plan your life, protect your money, and sleep better at night. Thousands of seniors and retirees watch this channel every single day because they know that when the Social Security Administration makes a change, I'm going to explain it clearly, honestly, and quickly. And right now, with this new rule taking effect today, you need to understand what's happening before it catches you off guard. Here's what we're covering in this video: what this new SSA rule actually is and why it was implemented today, who it affects, and whether your benefits are impacted, what you need to do right now to make sure you're prepared, and most importantly, how to avoid any disruption to your monthly income. Before we dive in, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. This channel is your protection against confusion and misinformation. Every time the SSA makes a change, I break it down here first. Subscribing means you'll never miss an update that could affect your financial security. Alright, let's get into this new rule. What is this new SSA rule? So what exactly is this new rule that took effect today? As of today, the Social Security Administration has implemented a stricter verification process for representative payee applications and oversight. This rule changes how the SSA monitors and approves individuals or organizations who manage Social Security benefits on behalf of beneficiaries who cannot manage their own finances. Now, I know that sounds technical. Let me break it down. A representative payee is someone who receives Social Security benefits on behalf of another person. This typically happens when the actual beneficiary is unable to manage their own money due to age, disability, mental health challenges, or other reasons. For example, if you're caring for an elderly parent with dementia, you might be their representative payee. If you have an adult child with severe disabilities who receives SSDI, you might be managing their benefits. Or if you're in a nursing home and your daughter handles your finances, she might be your representative payee. Up until today, the process for becoming a representative payee and staying approved was relatively straightforward. The SSA required some documentation, background checks, and periodic reporting, but enforcement was inconsistent. That changes today. Why is the SSA making this change? The Social Security Administration is tightening these rules for one main reason: fraud prevention. Over the past several years, the Office of the Inspector General has documented hundreds of cases where representative payees were misusing or stealing Social Security benefits from vulnerable beneficiaries. We're talking about adult children stealing from their elderly parents. We're talking about nursing homes mismanaging funds. We're talking about organizations that were supposed to protect people, but instead exploited them. The SSA estimates that tens of millions of dollars in benefits have been misappropriated through representative payee fraud. So this new rule is designed to close those loopholes and add stronger safeguards. But here's the problem. When the government tightens the rules to stop bad actors, it often creates extra paperwork, delays, and stress for honest people who are doing everything right. And that's what we need to prepare for. What does this new rule actually require? Starting today, here's what's different. Enhanced background checks. Anyone applying to be a representative payee will go through a more rigorous background screening process. This includes criminal history, credit checks, and verification of identity. If you're already a representative payee, the SSA may conduct retroactive reviews to ensure compliance. Mandatory annual reporting. Representative payees will now be required to submit detailed annual accounting reports showing exactly how every dollar of the beneficiary's Social Security money was spent. This was technically required before, but enforcement was weak. Now, the SSA is implementing automated systems to track compliance and flag accounts that don't submit reports on time. In-person interviews. For new representative payee applications, the SSA may require in-person or video interviews to verify the relationship between the payee and the beneficiary. This is to prevent situations where strangers or distant relatives exploit vulnerable individuals. Organizational payee audits. If you receive benefits through an organizational payee, such as a nursing home, group home, or nonprofit, the SSA will conduct more frequent audits of those organizations to ensure they're managing funds properly. Faster removal for non-compliance. If a representative payee fails to submit required reports, cooperate with audits, or is found to be misusing funds, the SSA now has the authority to immediately remove them and reassign the beneficiary's payments to a new payee or direct deposit. Again, these rules are designed to protect beneficiaries, but they also mean more work, more scrutiny, and potentially more delays for people who are simply trying to help their loved ones. Who is affected by this rule? Let's be very clear about who needs to pay attention to this change. You're affected if you are currently a representative payee for someone else. This could be for a parent, a spouse, a child, or anyone else who cannot manage their own Social Security benefits. Starting today, you need to be prepared for increased reporting requirements and possible contact from the SSA for verification purposes. You're affected if you're planning to become a representative payee in the near future. If you've been thinking about applying to manage a loved one's benefits, be prepared for a longer, more detailed application process. The SSA is going to ask more questions and require more documentation than before. You're affected if someone else is your representative payee. If you have a representative payee managing your Social Security benefits, this rule is designed to protect you. It means the SSA will be watching more closely to make sure your money is being used for your benefit and not being stolen or misused. You're affected if you live in a care facility where an organizational payee manages your benefits. Nursing homes, group homes, and assisted living facilities that serve as representative payees will face more audits and oversight. This is a good thing for residents, but it could lead to administrative changes or delays. Now, if you receive Social Security directly into your own bank account and you manage your own finances, this rule does not affect you. You can relax. This is specifically about representative payee arrangements. But if you fall into any of the categories I just mentioned, keep listening, because I'm going to tell you exactly what you need to do. Real-world impact, what this means for families. Let me paint a picture of how this rule could play out in real life. Imagine you're a 62-year-old woman named Susan. Your 87-year-old mother has Alzheimer's and lives with you. You've been her representative payee for 3 years, and you use her Social Security benefits to pay for her medication, her adult diapers, her doctor visits, and her portion of the household expenses. You've always done the right thing. You keep receipts. You spend every penny on her care. You submit your annual reports to the SSA on time. But under this new rule, you might receive a letter from the SSA in the next few weeks asking you to complete a new background check. You might be asked to attend an in-person interview at your local Social Security office. You might be required to provide more detailed financial records than you've ever submitted before. This isn't because you did anything wrong. It's because the SSA is applying these new standards to everyone. And here's what worries me. If you don't respond to these requests quickly, or if you don't submit the required paperwork, the SSA could temporarily suspend your mother's benefits or reassign her payments to someone else. That would be devastating. Not because you're a bad caregiver, but because you didn't know what was expected of you under the new rule. Or let's say you're a 45-year-old father named Michael. Your 22-year-old son has severe autism and receives SSDI. You've been his representative payee since he turned 18. You use his benefits to pay for his therapy, his medication, and his living expenses at a group home. Under this new rule, the group home where your son lives will face more frequent audits. If the group home fails an audit or doesn't submit required reports, the SSA could pull your son out of that facility's care and reassign his benefits. Again, this isn't about punishing good people. It's about preventing fraud. But it does mean that honest families and organizations will have to jump through more hoops to stay compliant. Timeline and deadlines. This rule is effective today. That means the SSA can begin enforcing these new requirements immediately. However, the SSA has stated that they will be rolling out compliance checks gradually over the next 12 months, so you might not hear from them right away. But that doesn't mean you should wait. If you're a representative payee, here's what you should expect. Within the next 30 days, the SSA may send letters to current representative payees informing them of the new requirements and requesting updated information or documentation. Within the next 90 days, the SSA will begin conducting retroactive background checks on existing representative payees. If there are any red flags, you'll be contacted for clarification. Within the next 6 months, all representative payees will be required to submit their annual accounting reports under the new, more detailed format. If you're used to submitting a simple one-page form, be prepared for a multi-page report with receipts and documentation. Within the next 12 months, the SSA will complete its review of all organizational payees. Facilities that don't meet the new standards will be removed from the program, and beneficiaries will be reassigned to individual payees or direct deposit. The bottom line is this: the clock is ticking. This isn't something you can ignore and hope it goes away. The SSA is serious about this rule, and they have the authority to suspend or reassign benefits if payees don't comply. Common misconceptions. Before we move on, let me clear up a few misconceptions I've already seen circulating online. Misconception number 1. This rule means the SSA is cutting benefits. No, this rule has nothing to do with the amount of money you receive. Your Social Security benefit amount is not changing. This rule is only about who manages those benefits and how they're monitored. Misconception number 2. This only affects people who are doing something wrong. Not true. The new requirements apply to all representative payees, regardless of whether they've done anything wrong. Even the most honest, well-meaning caregivers will have to comply with the new reporting and verification standards. Misconception number 3. I don't have to do anything unless the SSA contacts me. Wrong. If you're a representative payee, you should be proactive. Don't wait for the SSA to send you a letter. Start gathering your documentation now. Make sure you're ready to respond quickly if they contact you. Misconception number 4. This rule won't be enforced strictly. Don't bet on that. The SSA has invested in new technology and additional staff to enforce this rule. They're not playing around. If you don't comply, they will take action. All right, now that you understand what this rule is and why it matters, let me give you some clear, actionable advice. If you're a representative payee, here's what you need to do right now. Step 1. Organize your financial records. Go through your records for the past 12 months and make sure you have documentation for every expense you've paid using the beneficiary's Social Security money. This includes receipts, bank statements, invoices, and bills. The SSA may ask you to prove how you spent the money, so you need to be ready. Step 2. Review your annual report deadline. Check when your next annual report is due. If it's coming up in the next few months, start preparing it now. Under the new rule, the SSA is going to be much stricter about late submissions. Missing a deadline could result in penalties or removal as a representative payee. Step 3. Update your contact information. Make sure the SSA has your current address, phone number, and email. If they need to contact you about the new requirements, you don't want their letters getting lost in the mail. You can update your information by calling the SSA at 1-800-772-1213 or visiting your local Social Security office. Step 4. Be prepared for a background check. If you're a new representative payee, or if the SSA decides to conduct a retroactive review, be ready to provide identification, proof of address, and consent for a background check. Don't panic if they ask for this. It's part of the new process. Step 5. Stay informed. Keep watching this channel. As the SSA begins enforcing this rule more aggressively, I'll be here to update you on what's happening, what to watch out for, and how to stay compliant. Subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss anything. If you're not a representative payee but you depend on Social Security benefits, here's what you need to know. Step 1. Make sure you trust your representative payee. If someone else is managing your benefits, this new rule is designed to protect you, but you should still stay involved. Ask questions. Review your bank statements. Make sure your money is being used for your care and not being stolen. Step 2. Report suspicious activity. If you suspect that your representative payee is misusing your funds, report it to the SSA immediately. You can call 1-800-772-1213 or visit your local Social Security office. The SSA takes these reports seriously, and the new rule gives them more tools to investigate and take action. Step 3. Consider managing your own benefits. If you're capable of managing your own finances, you might want to consider asking the SSA to remove your representative payee and switch to direct deposit into your own account. You have that right. The SSA will evaluate your situation and make a decision based on what's in your best interest. For everyone watching, here's the most important piece of advice I can give you. Don't panic. But don't ignore this either. This new rule is designed to protect vulnerable people and prevent fraud. If you're honest and organized, you'll be fine. But if you're unprepared or you ignore the SSA's requests for information, you could face delays, suspensions, or removal as a representative payee. The key is to stay informed, stay organized, and stay proactive. Here's the reality. Social Security rules are changing constantly. And every time they change, it affects your income, your benefits, and your peace of mind. The Social Security Administration doesn't always do a great job of communicating these changes. They send out vague letters. They use confusing language. They expect you to figure it out on your own. That's where this channel comes in. I make it my mission to watch every SSA announcement, read every new rule, and translate it into plain English so you can understand exactly what's happening and what you need to do. If you found this video helpful, do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button right now, turn on the notification bell, and share this video with anyone you know who receives Social Security benefits or serves as a representative payee. Because here's the truth. The people who stay informed are the people who protect their income. The people who ignore these updates are the people who get caught off guard when their benefits are delayed, suspended, or reassigned. You don't want to be caught off guard, you want to be prepared, and that's what this channel is for. Every time the SSA makes a change, I'm here to break it down. Every time there's a new rule, a new payment schedule, or a new deadline, you'll hear about it here first. So subscribe, stay protected, and keep watching. Because your Social Security benefits are too important to leave to chance. All right, let's wrap this up with a quick summary. As of today, the Social Security Administration has implemented a new rule that tightens oversight and verification requirements for representative payees. This rule affects millions of families who care for elderly parents, disabled children, or vulnerable loved ones who cannot manage their own Social Security benefits. The rule includes enhanced background checks, mandatory annual reporting, in-person interviews, organizational audits, and faster removal for non-compliance. If you're a representative payee, you need to organize your financial records, review your reporting deadlines, update your contact information, and be prepared for increased scrutiny from the SSA. If someone else is your representative payee, this rule is designed to protect you. Stay involved in your finances and report any suspicious activity. And if you receive Social Security directly and manage your own money, this rule doesn't affect you. The bottom line is this: the SSA is serious about preventing fraud and protecting vulnerable beneficiaries. And while that's a good thing, it does mean more work and more responsibility for honest caregivers. But if you stay informed, stay organized, and stay proactive, you'll be fine. I'm Dave Ram, and I'll be here every step of the way to keep you updated, informed, and protected. Thanks for watching. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next video with more Social Security updates you need to know. Take care, stay informed, and remember, your benefits are your lifeline. Protect them.